So, there was a bit of a fiasco that happened over the week that popped a certain question. Could, should, would we see Ember in the upcoming hypothetical Spyro 4? Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with another Spyro 4 video. So, the past week, something crazy kind of happened that has, to my knowledge, been sorted out. It left us with a bunch of questions about Spyro 4, and having us ask about how valid it was in terms of evidence and what it meant. But today, I hope to shed some light on it. So back before Spyro Reignited came out, we started to see a bunch of movement for Spyro merch in 2017. The first 4 figure statue and the classic Spyro shirt were the big ones, along with many others. Then in April of 2018, we got the reveal that Spyro was making a comeback. Awesome, fantastic. So I made a video recently talking about there being a sudden movement in the Spyro trademarks. These trademarks are important to pay attention to. What's been concluded thus far is that the Spyro trademark is following the exact same footsteps as the Crash Bandicoot trademark, leading up to the reveal of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, concluding to me that it's possible we could be seeing a new Spyro title relatively soon. Again, I initially thought it was going to be 2023, maybe 2024 at the latest, but it's possible we could see it in 2022. But that's not the topic of today. I already did that video. Today's topic is about a really niche Spyro character, the second heartthrob in Spyro's life, Ember. Ember was a dragon that showed up very briefly in Spyro's A Hero's Tale. She essentially asks Spyro to marry her and he kind of treats her like an annoyance. Think of the relationship between Amy and Sonic the Hedgehog. While her screen time is literally less than 30 seconds and has about as many lines as Boba Fett in the original Star Wars, she made a lasting impact in the fan base, from fan art, cosplay, and yes, even an amazing mod, created by Dribbleondo. The link to this mod is in the description below. However, this is where this week's fiasco begins. Before I comment on this fiasco though, I am going to make this abundantly clear. There were 3 artists that were affected by this fiasco, and before I made this video, I asked their permission to see if it was okay if I made this video. Each artist reviewed this script specifically multiple times to make sure that the information was accurate and that they were comfortable with the contents of it. After each review, each artist gave the green light and permission for me to publish it. We Love This Store, a merch company that I will make abundantly clear once more, has sent me loads of free merchandise, released a new piece of merch for a very brief time. Yes, it was of Ember. But like I just showed you, it wasn't exactly an original piece, but was a trace of Dribbleondo's mod, based off of a screenshot by Crazy Kariana. On top of that, there was a silhouette of a 3D model that was made by Charlotte Laycock, which was based off of art by Alayna Gray. Well, of course, the fan base recognized this and began to complain to We Love This. Less than 20 hours later, however, We Love This released a statement apologizing and took the product page down a couple hours before then. After talking with We Love This and some of the artists privately, it seemed to stem from a single hired junior artist along with some human error in between. Apparently, only some of the artists that were affected were offered some free goodies as an apology. However, one of the artists I spoke with refused that offer, and all the orders for the Ember merch were refunded with an explanation to those who bought it. I also want to note that all 3 artists have their work and Twitter profiles linked in the description below if you want to go check them out. With all the talk of trademarks and all the Spyro action happening, along with merch being assigned for when Reignited was going to drop, some asked a very, reasonable question. Will Ember be in Spyro 4? If that shirt wasn't a trace of a mod, it would have been official Activision licensed merch. Typically, merch goes through what's called the approval stage, where someone actually at Activision reviews the pitch merch designs by the different companies and either gives their approval their critiques, or shuts down the piece of merch. It's all for making sure the brand is represented in the light that Activision wants it to. That is probably why we don't have any Spyro butt warmers or Crash Bandicoot blenders. So I was very confused by this shirt, because another company had pitched something similar to Activision and it was denied in approvals. First Four Figures tried releasing a Legend of Spyro statue featuring Spyro and Cinder. Activision had shut it down due to brand recognizability. They didn't want people to get confused between Reignited and Legend of Spyro. So at the time, my thoughts were, but if you had shut down the First Four Figure statue, why didn't you shut down the Ember shirt for the same reasons? Maybe the reason was because Ember was actually going to be a part of Spyro 4. Well, I'm here to clear the air. The short and simple answer is no. This shirt does not mean that Ember will be in Spyro 4. I will not be sharing the screenshots, but I personally contacted the CEO of We Love This, and they responded to me. This was a piece of merch that was not sent to Activision approvals. They insisted it was an honest mistake that was then compounded by human error. So, I am sorry folks, this shirt does not mean that Ember will be in Spyro 4, but that doesn't mean that she won't be in Spyro 4 either. While I was waiting to get confirmation on whether or not this shirt meant anything, I started to think about how Ember could be involved in the game. See, look at Crash Bandicoot 4. It was a game that tried to cater to as many Crash fans as possible. While the gameplay was obviously rooted in the original trilogy, the characters, voice lines, levels, and even Easter eggs hit just about every single Crash Bandicoot game, from the elemental masks from Wrath of Cortex, to Nitrous Oxide from CTR, to even the Evil Twins from Twinsanity. And how could we forget CTR Nitro Fueled, literally including characters like Yaya Panda, Megamix, and even a character based on fan legends, Hasty. If there is one thing that's been common over the past 5 years of releases, these companies are aware of the many sub-fan bases within these games, and they want the new titles to be able to bring all those sub-fan bases together. So, if that's the case, maybe a similar approach will come to the next Spyro title, a continuation off of the original 3 games, but still somehow acknowledging the titles that came out in between, like A Hero's Tale, the Legend of Spyro trilogy, or even Skylanders. For example, some of the worlds could be populated by specific Skylander species. Maybe they discover multiple clans of dragons whose leaders are inspired by the Legend of Spyro Dragon Elders. There are so many ideas to take from. But characters from different Spyro games could come back as either NPCs or playable characters. I thought about how Crash got his different powers from different masks, so I wonder, what if instead of Spyro gaining all new powers, he can enter certain parts of a level that allows you to play as different fan favorite dragons over the years, like Ember or maybe Flame, and of course, another fan favorite, Cinder. Each one could have their own set of abilities that differ from each other. Maybe Flame can hold a constant fire breath instead of just a big burst of flame. Maybe Cinder can use a shadow step ability and blink between the obstacles. And Ember could, well, do something. We don't know enough about her to really assign her any power. Maybe this is a good time for the devs to really expand who she is and come up with an original idea. Or if the devs want to go for more of a simple concept, they could just be NPCs that Spyro helps save. Or maybe they are referenced as skins like in Crash Bandicoot 4. There are a lot of ways these characters could be used or at least referenced. While we don't know whether or not Ember or any other Spyro fan favorite will show up in the new game, it's fun to talk and speculate what could happen. But I hope this video sheds some light on the recent allegations and speculations. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all Spyro news.